Shout out to all the newbies. This is the perfect time to get started. First year that you made solo.
First year, probably about 25. Because I
Mhm.
told my wife this, I'm gonna give myself 5 years to turn this into something. Had determination, I wasn't gonna give it up. My first year of business, every customer I had, I told them I was new in business, so quitting wasn't no option. You have to teach these customers that you are an actual business. Took the truck to get service and realized the guy sold me a truck that was the engine was about to blow in it. We was there like forever in a day.
Mhm.
And actually, this customer came out and asked, do we need to charge her more money? When the customer comes at me and talking to me as if I'm just a grass cutter.
I have no other than M Lawn Care. We got Kett. I ain't gonna put his whole government name out there. What's up, Kett?
Hey, what's going on?
All right, there it is from humble beginnings right here, y'all. Marquette, when you start lawn care?
June 2018.
This is you starting out just with a push mower.
There it is, the old Toro, 22-inch.
Now, we want to help the newbies out, y'all. We want to help y'all out because at the end of the day, we want y'all to shortcut how it really goes down in the lawn care business. We don't want you lowballing. We don't want you driving a race down. So we're going to tell you how Kett got started in the lawn care business. First off, we want to know where you're located at, so people know where you're at. What's
I'm
your location?
located in Owings Mills, Maryland.
Okay. So what areas do you service?
Owings Mills, Randallstown, Pikesville, Glendon.
So Marquette, he is a veteran, solo, running how many years?
This will be the 5th year right here.
All right, he's in number 5. Now that's important because any business, they tell you, any business that normally fail, it fails in the first 5 years. How many areas do you service? Do you service a small area, or how big your area?
It's not too big. I run a 5-6 mile radius.
Okay.
And I can touch on actually my hometown right here is Owings Mills. I can touch Randallstown, Pikesville, Glendon, and a few more areas.
When it comes to your sizes of lawn, how big are they or how small are they?
Quarter, half. Also have some 2-3 acres as well.
Now, how did you afford to buy your very first piece of lawn care equipment? We need to know that. Give us the backstory.
Okay. This backstory. Okay, Vic, you getting exclusive today.
Yeah, we want to know because people already be in the business. They be talking about all the stuff they get, but you don't get how they got it. How they get from the humble beginnings, because that's what most guys who newbies want to know. How did you get it?
Well, as far as my push mower, weed eater, blower, and I had a handheld blower, and I was working a full-time job at the time, so therefore, you pull that money together and pick up a few things just to get started. And as far as the truck is concerned, okay, let's get into it. I didn't want to put stuff in my car. I had an Altima at the time. So what I did was I went to CarMax. I sold my Altima. And let me first say, anytime you're getting ready to get in business, it's gonna be some sacrifices if you got the willing to sacrifice. So I sold my Altima, and I went on the hunt for just a little light used truck until I built my business. Well, I bought this truck and got the truck home. Took the truck to get service and realized the guy sold me a truck that was the engine was about to blow in it.
What?
Yeah, he doctored the truck up for the sale, and needless to say, maybe on a different podcast I could tell you how that went. But so at that point, I went and went to actually a place right down the street called Drive Time. And I picked up my Dodge Ram at that point because I was trying to do this thing without having any type of financing done. But when I got stiffed on the truck, I had to go out here and finance me something, which turned into a blessing. So that's how I afforded to get the stuff I needed.
So it sounds like you was trying to cut a corner and get something cheap, so you wouldn't go into debt. But going cheap, mess around and got a lemon, and you had to go out and buy something new anyway.
Correct.
Yeah. So within the first year, what was a newbie mistake that you made? Name 2 to 3 newbie mistakes you made within your first year of servicing yards.
The one that stick out the most is underbidding a cleanup. When I first got into the business, I thought that I'll be out here starting to mow, but shoot, my first couple of jobs ain't have nothing to do with a lawnmower. It was a couple of cleanups. So I wasn't ready for cleanups. So therefore, once I got the cleanup, of course, I ain't turned the cleanup down. So I had to go in my pockets and get the proper tools for the cleanup. So once I got paid on the cleanup, that was just putting the money right back I had to spend on the equipment to do the cleanups. So I would say mistake is number 2 was to not fully understand what I could possibly get into, so I could be ready at the time in which these things come up.
So I heard you say something. You said when you got the job, you went and got the equipment.
Right. Well, right before I got the job, I got the equipment.
Right.
So I knew I was gonna go into this job in the hole all the way. It wasn't gonna be not nan lick of profits. You know what I'm saying? Once I did this job, but it was a blessing that, number one, I had the job. And I don't know if you remember, Vic, when I was on that job, I called you. Cause I couldn't, I was like, man, I don't know, man. I didn't know how to bid this job. So I just threw a number out there to the lady, and she actually agreed to the job. We was there like forever in a day. And actually this customer came out and asked, do we need to charge her more money? She realized how long we was out there, and she understood right then that we underbidded that job. But what I did was I told her that I was new in business. I told, when my first year of business, every customer I had, I told them I was new in business and just asked for the opportunity to, service their lawn. And everyone that I asked that, man, they said yes. So for me, man, I learned real quick being upfront and honest with your customers. You know what I'm saying? It pays off in the end.
I definitely agree with you. Right here, this is in your early stages. This is not the push more no more.
Right.
This is where newbies, you need to understand this is not a commercial. It's called mid-grade. It's between the residential and the commercial.
Well,
how long did you what more is this, and how long did it last for you?
That right there is a 42-inch Gravely ZTX. This mower here, it changed the business.
Because you got off your feet.
Absolutely.
One of the things I would tell y'all about mid-grade mowers are really good for entry, but they don't last about a year and a half, because you are going to put a lot of wear and tear on them in your early years.
I'm gonna tell you about this Gravely right here. I ran this Gravely into the ground, and I sold it to somebody else with how I was on it. Never gave me a lick of trouble. So you'll find them diamonds in the rough, so to speak. But that one had a 22 horsepower Kohler on it. It wasn't the best mower, man. Like I said, that's a residential mower, and yeah. I mean, I cut a lot of yards with that per week on with that mower. I did upwards of 40 plus yards a week with that mower for a year, almost 2 years. And never gave me an ounce of trouble. But what I did find was it was very underpowered. So a whole lot of them lawns it was a struggle. It was a struggle. But you got to do what you got to do.
I know that's right. All right. Here's another question. How do you ensure customer satisfaction and retain loyal clients?
For me, I go out there and do the best job I can, because the way I view each lawn that I cut is a business card for me.
Mm.
So if I don't, if I put half the work in, it's going to show. And so I take my time. I used to have people telling me, other people in the lawn care business telling me, hey man, if you're spending that much time on a lawn, you're not being profitable. I say,
Mhm.
well, yeah, I believe that. I said, but if I don't spend this type of time on this lawn, I won't have a lawn.
Mhm.
So I took my time, man, and made sure that lawn was as crispy as I can get it. And I always would go in my first year or two, would go and get the customer and tell them to walk the property with me, um, to see if I made any mistakes and anything of that nature for the lawn. So
Really?
yeah, so I wanted to make sure that I was doing the very best job I could do, because I I had a personal thing for myself that I never want to be dropped by a customer unless they die off, unfortunately, or they move or something like that, but not with the level of my type of not level of my integrity on the lawn or whatever.
That's saying something. That's saying something. You said they got to die off when you get rid of you.
They got to die off, bro. They got to die off and move. Other than that, be honest with you, man. When COVID hit,
Mhm.
um, I retained all my business except one customer.
Mm.
And she was an entrepreneur as well. And when COVID hit, everything just stopped for her.
Mhm.
I continued to cut her lawn until she got back on her feet. So,
Mm.
uh, you know, she was one of my first customers. And just because at that moment, something that she had nothing to do with, man, when this pandemic came through, I said, I'll just keep cutting it. Because to me, spending 30 minutes, matter of fact, the lawn I was using that 36 Gravely on, which you'll probably get to, that was one of the lawns. So, I just continued to cut her. And then I think about 2 months before the season ended, man, she got back on her feet. We just kept right on rolling.
Wow.
Yeah,
Wow.
yeah,
That's saying something. I mean, that's really saying something. You was built for this,
yeah, hey,
and
man.
most people would have dropped her.
Yeah.
I'm
For
like,
real.
I'm sorry. Yeah, COVID
Yeah,
got you.
yeah, yeah,
Yeah, I gotta cut your next door neighbor though.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. But hey, man, the way I looked at it is, when I look at my customer, I look at them as a blessing, man.
Man.
So, I just keep right on rolling. As long as they treat me right, I treat them right. Because if you go on my website,
Mhm.
I got a slogan on there: stay inside, let me take care of your lawn. And also I build relationships with my customers. So um, you know, if I ain't gonna go too far into it. You might get to this later on. So
Okay.
I'll let you keep rolling.
All right. So, question:
Hmm.
how do you market? Like, because this is one of the biggest things with newbies. They
Hmm.
want to know how you get the leads. How do you market your business? What's the strategies? What worked for you? What didn't work for you?
Okay, well, what worked for me, man, I don't know if it's a blessing, got lucky, man. The first place I turned to was Craigslist. Craigslist offered this ad where you could just pay $5 and to run an ad for like 30 days.
Mhm.
So I did Craigslist, I did Facebook,
Mhm.
and that's pretty much all I did in the beginning. Craigslist and Facebook. And
Mm.
then after that, and once I started getting a couple of yards, man, it was word of mouth at that point. And I got a couple of door hangers, man. So I would go to a lawn, cut that lawn, and go across the street, hang a door hanger. The houses next to each one, I hang a door hanger, then I roll out.
Mhm.
And I was getting a few calls that way as well.
Was you nervous at the beginning that you weren't gonna get any clients?
Yeah, the phone wasn't ringing.
Mhm.
Phone wasn't ringing because I hit the ground running, man. I built the website.
Mm.
I got on Google My Business.
Mhm.
Um, of course, I had insurance. Went straight legit.
Mhm.
Right out the gate. I say a lot of people, they'll start their lawn care business first, and then once they start generating a little bit of money, they go out here and then get it LLC or whatever. I started off because I figured, um, me starting this business, if I sling a rock through somebody's window that costs $2,000, well, unless I'm willing to reach in my pocket, you know what I'm saying? You could be possibly out of business, depending on
Right.
what you mess up. So I made sure I had all that stuff in place first before I even got started.
Understand that.
Yeah.
Understand that. So, what was the most challenging aspect of just running your business your first year? What
The
was the
most
challenging thing
the
that
most
you
challenging thing was bidding the properties correctly.
mm,
That
mm,
was the most challenging thing for me, was bidding the properties correctly. Um, in the beginning, man, I was underbidding properties. Um, and I realized real quick the reason why I was getting all these yeses,
mm,
and I was like, oh, okay, well, once you start cutting these properties, at least about the second or third time, you realize real quick you wasn't getting enough money for these properties.
mm,
But what I did was,
mhm,
in the beginning, when I talk to these customers, I let them know that I'm brand new at this. And so that left me the type of wiggle room to where when I cut these properties 2 or 3 times, realize, hey man, I should have been $10, $20 more than this. I would actually go back to them and tell them, say, look, hey, I'm not gonna be able to continue to cut this property for what I'm charging you. And
mhm,
I said, if y'all willing to go up $10, $15, whatever it might be, I appreciate it and I can continue cutting. If not, I totally understand and I appreciate the opportunity. None of them turned me down, man.
mm.
Nothing.
You know what? Honesty is the best policy. Not
Yeah,
acting like newbie. When you go out there,
yeah,
let them know, hey, listen, one thing you're gonna know about me, I'm gonna be honest.
yep,
I'm new to this. However, I have integrity.
exactly.
And
And
that hey, that says a lot. That
and what
says a whole lot. And I
and what
think I think if you came like that to me, yeah, man.
yeah.
Matter of fact, I probably been like, man, I thank you for the first two cuts that you lowball yourself.
Yeah,
Appreciate you.
yeah,
Yeah,
for
I was
real.
wondering when you was gonna figure this out.
Yeah, yeah, exactly. Exactly. So, in what I found out, man, it's like it's a big deal. A lot of people just think we just cut grass.
Mm-hmm.
But it's a big deal when a homeowner allows you to be on their property.
True.
And if you can show them that you solid, show them that you got it, you have integrity,
Mm-hmm.
man, that speaks volumes right there. That speaks volumes.
You're not just a lawn guy, folks. That's
Right.
what Kett is saying. You are a
Exactly.
businessman who
Exactly.
service lawns. And servicing lawns, you service people. One of the questions that you said when you got started, you was legit. That you went legit. And it's important that people understand what is legit.
Right.
What was the requirements and license needed in your area? Like some people, you might not need anything to get required.
That's
Go-
that's that's true. Because for us here in Maryland, man, you just have to go register your business. Got to have your legit business account, articles of
Mm,
operation,
mhm.
um, and people here in Maryland. It's cheap, y'all. I registered my business, man. It was like 100 and I can't remember now, like maybe
Mm,
$150. Um, my insurance was $40 a month for $1 million of
wow.
general liability.
Who? With who?
Hiscox, Hiscox Insurance.
Wow.
Now that's a great one to start off with. Um, and that's all. That's pretty much all you need to get started here in Maryland, and you just roll with it.
Hmm.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. Now, how do you
Hmm.
handle the difficult clients? Now, we know we love all our clients. You said you like to build relationships, but
Hmm.
even you argue with your loved one, with family.
Right. Right.
So, how do you handle? I call them the hot dogs. You know what the hot dog is? It's that over there. Can I know you don't do this, but you mind picking that trash up over there?
Hmm.
How do you deal with that?
That's important. What you just said is set your boundaries. For me, I went into this. I used to tell my wife I'm gonna have a stress free business.
Mm,
in my personal life, I really don't put up with too much, so I'm not gonna put up too much here in business either. So, when the customer comes at me, uh, very cordially, very nicely, if I miss something or something like that, it's no problem. We'll take care of it and move on. If they're a little bit aggressive and talking to me as if I'm just a grass cutter, I tell them, well, you know what, I apologize for anything I done wrong. And now this is legit script I'm finna give you right here.
Tell me.
Hey, I apologize if I did anything wrong on your property. That was not my intention, but I will not allow you to talk to me in this fashion. So what we're going to do, this will serve as your 2-week notice. So therefore, I'll finish up the cut this time, fix anything you got wrong this time. I will come again in a week or 2 weeks, depending on what kind of schedule they on. And if you happen to find somebody between that time, just let me know, and no harm, no foul, and I'll walk away. I'm not gonna, I don't leave. I always leave with respect. So I expect it, and if I don't get it, I don't need you as a customer.
I know that's right.
So that's how I pretty much handle that.
What we getting at, newbie? Don't chase money. Chase clients. What's the best practice when it comes to scheduling and managing your appointments? What do you do to schedule that to get that nice and good?
I'll tell you what, I use Yardbook.
Okay.
I use Yardbook. Yardbook has a free subscription, and they also have a paid subscription. Start off with the free one, and then just morph into that paid subscription. And it's simple. It's real simple, real simplified. So that's what I use, and I've been using, and don't plan on going nowhere else.
Even if you got 5 yards, you need to go ahead and organize it, because 5 gonna turn into 15, 15 gonna turn into 35.
Quick.
Any advice for setting up methods of bills or payment system?
I can only speak for myself. For me, I will take any form in the beginning. As long as you pay me, we good. What you will find out using Cash App, Venmo, PayPal, especially if you're using them for business. And when I say using for business, there's a business option, and that's personal. Me, I didn't want any trouble from IRS or nobody like that, so I just went legit. You give me the business or whatever, this, that, and other. But what you find out is these fees associated with it when you get paid. So if you do your numbers and look at how much you done paid in fees, you realize real quick you want to try to swing everything over to like one payment platform, so you can control your fees. So yeah, I say if you're a newbie in the game, it's a lot to learn, and just be straight up with your customers. People, man, they view us as, oh, you just cut grass.
Try to give me your honest answer in the short amount of time as possible. Okay. So here we go, and we really want some opinion on what these questions. We really want some opinion. All right, here we go. What was the best type of mower for a beginner? I'm talking about, you can talk about the budget, whether or not, if you had to do it over again from a beginner, what's the best mower for someone who on a tight budget?
If you're on a tight budget, if you could come up with about $500, just get you a push mower, a blower, and we'll skip the blower because you can use a broom. Get you a push mower and a weed eater. You can get a push mower out here and a weed eater for $500.
Okay.
$500, and then as you making money and getting that cash, just keep upgrading. Just keep upgrading. Don't make no big deal out of it. Just get out there and make grass short and get you some money.
All right, somebody who got the money. They say, they done came up on some money, and they say, man, I want to get some stuff. What would you tell the newbie to start at?
The newbie to start, I would get I don't know, Vic, because I really don't. I wouldn't dive out there and get no stand on mower, because you're gonna wind up left and the mower gonna go right on you. So, because you don't have any experience on it. So a zero turn, if you can afford a residential zero turn, just to get started, build up your income, and then go out there and get you something commercial.
You got a brand in mind?
For just for beginning.
Yeah, this is a brand. What brand would you go with?
For me, because I'm a little biased here, because the first zero
Your
turn I had.
opinion count. Your buyer's opinion count. We won't hear some buyer's opinion.
Yeah, so I'll go with Gravely.
Okay.
I'll go with Gravely. They easy to get into. You got you about 3,000, 3,500, something like that. You can get into that more 42-inch deck and make life a whole lot simpler on you out here cutting grass.
All right. How about for the weed eaters?
Weed eaters, I'm an Echo guy. I done had them all. I had Echo, Steel, Red Max. When it come to starting them, Echo all day long. I just, that's it for me. Echo. Second one would be Red Max for me.
Really?
Yeah.
Red Max? Red Max was trash down here for me.
know,
It's Steel than nothing else really.
Yeah. Now Steel has a 94R that I love because of the weight.
Mm-hmm.
But the rest of them, after a while, they hard to start, whatever. And that's my experience. So,
you know what? Echo. All right. Let's say you starting out, but you can hire your homeboy. You got the money there. Would you recommend starting solo, or do you recommend starting a duo?
I would say solo in the beginning, so you can get all the kinks out, so you can get your charging down for your lawns. Also setting your standards for your business, because for me, my opinion, once you introduce someone else into the fold, if you don't have no standard operating procedures, y'all gonna be all over the place, crossing over each other. You thought this was done and it wasn't, and it kind of save you a little time, and also save you a customer if you set you some standards up before you get to hiring somebody to help you on the lawns.
What is better to focus on as a newbie? Someone who's in the game 0 to 2 years. Is it residential or is it commercial?
You have to have a little bit of experience going into commercial work. They have their standards, things that they require, and you need to make sure you can meet them. So I would say starting off with residential be the way to go. That way you can get your experience down on mowing and the edge and weed eating, blowing off and all that good stuff, mulching, trimming hedges, trimming bushes, because once you get to these commercials, they want this stuff done. They want it done right. And that way you get yourself some experience, and you kind of not behind the 8 ball at that point.
When should you think about quitting your job and going full time in lawn care? What that look like?
When your lawns start outrunning your pay at work. Or when you get to the point where give an example for me. When I got to the point where I couldn't take enough vacation time, I would have to, because I usually get off at 4 o'clock. So I would take 2 hours of vacation, get off at 2 o'clock, so I can take care of the lawns. And it started becoming like, man, you know what, I ain't be able to get this stuff done just after work. And when you look at your income, especially if you're the breadwinner of the home, you have to, it has to make sense for you to have that lawn care get close to your bills, as close as possible. Because once you get back them 8 hours you was giving your job, you have enough room to add more business. But that's a sketchy one, because people have issues different kind of issues when it comes to their full-time job.
Mm-hmm.
Now, for me, I can tell you about me. I went full-time in 2020.
2 years later.
2 years later, but my job was getting on my nerves. The job was getting on my nerves. I was starting to stress a lot at my job.
Mm.
And it became a point where I talked to my wife. I told her, I said, look, is something going to happen to me if I continue to do this job?
Mm.
I was back and forth to urgent care because I was having pains in my chest. And it was every time I go, they say, look, EKG's looking good, everything looking good. We can't see nothing wrong. And which I found out later was stress. So at that point, I came home one day. I walked in the bedroom. My wife had all these Post-it notes on this mirror we have in the bedroom.
Mm-hmm.
And it was about 12, 13 of them. I hear you, quit your job. No need to stress, quit your job. I got your back, quit your job. Vic, I quit my job, bro. Quit my job, bro. And I told my wife, I said, look, I'm finna give this thing 2 years, 3 years. I said, I'm gonna give it 3 years, hitting it hard. And if it all shakes out, great. If it don't, I'll go back to work. I ain't going back to work.
Right.
Not yet, no way.
Right.
So, yeah.
Listen, we want you all newbies to understand something. If you're gonna work hard for yourself. That's my motto.
That's a fact.
If you're gonna work hard, you're gonna bust your butt.
Yeah.
Bust it for yourself.
That's true. You're gonna work harder working for yourself than the job, but it is so rewarding. It is so rewarding because it's a different feel when you have to kill what you eat. And when you got to kill what you eat, you don't sit there and be like, well, I ain't gonna do nothing today, because your conscience start messing with you. Then it's like, you know what, let me get up and do this real quick. And you're gonna be glad you did. You're gonna be glad you did.
If you had one piece of advice, what would you give to a person who's just about to start their lawn care business this year?
Find you a mentor that's been out here doing this thing for a good little while, long time. It will save you so much headache. I have a mentor, 40 years experience, multi-million-dollar business. And when I pick that phone up and call him, he'll stay on that phone until I get what he's saying. And it has saved me so much money, so much time. And this video you see Vic have right here, I would not have that mower if it wasn't for talking to my mentor.
Tell me about that real quick.
Because I still had the working mindset. I had the mindset of, oh man, I'm sitting on 4,000 right now. If I spend that, I'm not gonna have no money.
Right.
And that's not the mindset you're supposed to have when you're an entrepreneur. That 4,000 should be invested so it can turn into 8,000. So I always had that mindset in the beginning, like, oh man, I'm sitting on this 4,000. I can't get this up. I'm gonna be broke. Not understanding that particular mower right there is going to make me so much more money. So get you a mentor. Get you a mentor in the game, 2, 3, 4 of them, somebody that's willing to talk to you, and it'll save you so much time.
That's facts.
So much.
Facts. And
I don't know if you're gonna talk about this big, but your support system needs to be in check. If you married, and I say married now, if you got you girlfriend or whatever, they not vested. Sorry, if you got they're not vested yet. Okay, but if you're married, you can't do number win out here. You can't do number win out here. Because if y'all seen some of them early videos Uncle Vyck was putting up, my wife was with me, and she's a corporate girl. She's a corporate girl, travels all the time. But when I first started this business, I was like, babe, I need some help. This woman can edge almost better than me now. She will get in that truck. She go wear her little uniforms or whatever, and we go out there and kill it. She didn't complain. We giggle and laugh all day. Cause she supporting me in my business.
Mm.
And support me means I'm supporting her as well. We win
Mm-hmm.
together. So your support system got to be on point.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I hope I don't make nobody upset by saying this. Hope I don't make nobody upset. But the Hispanic woman, man, they be out there supporting me, they men.
Well, they gonna be mad at me too, Vic, because I'm telling you, I love it. I
Damn,
love it.
they
I
be
love
out
it.
there supporting it. I'm talking about getting dirty and grungy.
They do. Because
And
they
that is facts.
they understand that if the man is winning, they winning. The family is winning. So why not support the breadwinner, so to speak, so everybody can win? Because
Mm-hmm.
it's not but a little bit of time they gonna need that support,
Mm-hmm.
and then they off and running. Sometimes they just need that support for that season, maybe 2
Mm-hmm.
seasons, and
Mm-hmm.
then they got it. So yeah, I agree. I
100.
agree. I mean, people can get upset if they want to, but if you got eyes and you can see it for yourself. We ain't making nothing up.
Ain't making nothing up.
Ain't making nothing up.
We need that support, sisters. Our sisters, we need it.
That's it.
No doubt.
No doubt.
I got a good one back here too. She ain't weedied a long she ain't weedied a long time, but she did enough.
I tell you what, all they got to do is go back on Uncle Vick's Quick Cut Premium Lawn Care channel. She out there getting it. You
Yeah,
hear me?
she was in there.
Yeah, she was.
So I definitely agree with what you're saying.
Mm-hmm.
No doubt. Now the next millionaires in these upcoming years will be a serviceman. That's where the money is.
Yeah, it is.
That's where, because no one wants to do anything. They don't want to get dirty no more.
Mm.
So if you're willing to get dirty, you're gonna make you some money.
Absolutely.
You don't have to elaborate on these. Just tell us which one you prefer.
Okay.
If you had to pick one, if you had to pick one, cash or credit cards on file.
Credit card on file.
All right, cool. What's better, stand on or sit down mowers?
Stand on mowers.
Okay. What mower would you buy if it wasn't a problem? What brand? What model? What size?
Right standard ZK.
Okay. What size is that?
52 inch.
52 inch.
Yeah, that works. Either 52 or 60. 61.
Okay. What more you would buy if the money is tight? What's the model? What's the size? And sit down or stand on?
Stand on Gravely Pro Stance.
How many backup mowers do a solo operator need?
I will at least have one backup. So if I have a ZK52, I want a backup to that one. If I have a push mower, I want a backup to that one. So a backup for each mower that you have.
What's the best way? If you had to choose one, what's the best way to get customers?
I'll say door hangers, flyers.
Me too. Door hangers, flyers were my best way. And one of the things I would say is having the price on your flyer helps out a whole lot too. What's the best blower? Backpack blower.
Best blower for a solo guy during lawn season for me would be the BR600.
BR600. If you had to do it, would you use any type of lead provider like Angelis?
Absolutely not.
Me either. Would not use it. Waste of money. What's the minimum price should a person start with in 2024?
Minimum price.
No matter where you at.
Okay. No matter where you at. $50.
I agree. $50, $55. I don't care how small that yard is. I don't care. Because let me tell you what's going to happen, y'all. You're going to be cutting the yard. And somebody going to come out and say, hey, man, hey, can you cut my yard in the backyard right here? Just that part, man. I couldn't get it myself.
Gonna be 50.
Yeah.
Front up. You might as well let me get the front too, cuz.
Exactly. What was the gross amount of money the first year that you made solo?
First year, probably about 25.
Second year, how much did you make?
About 40.
What was your biggest growth? When did it blow up and you were like, yeah, that's it?
Well, this gonna be good and vague, cause I don't really tell my numbers like that.
Oh, okay.
But I say anywhere between 50 and 110. Well, let me say this too for the newbies. For the newbies, if you gonna be out here in this heat, hydration, hydration, hydration. Hydrate. A rule of thumb, if you can get close to this, after every yard you cut, drink your bottle of water.
Wow.
Drink your bottle of water. Cause I done had I done had heat exhaustion twice. And also, let me tell you this. Now I know something. Okay, disclaimer. Look, I know some of y'all don't want this to go down, but if you have a significant other, and if you out here cutting solo, get you an app where they can know your location. Now, after you work, cut the app off if you ain't doing what you supposed to do. But while you working, it saved my life by having Life 360 on my phone.
Wow.
I was in the customer's yard. I was getting it all day. I got back there. I was getting so hot I couldn't cool myself off. Started shaking, jittery. I had sense enough to get off the mower. Matter of fact, I left the mower running. I went in the truck, cut the truck on, cut the AC on, called my wife, said, yo, I ain't feeling right. Something ain't right. She was like, where you at? And I don't even know if I don't think I told exactly where I at because I was kind of out of it. She pulled up. She had all kind of Gatorades, all kind of stuff. I'm chugging this stuff down. I sat in that truck for about an hour, and I finally started feeling a little decent. And I was right on the verge of heat stroke out there.
Wow.
So stay hydrated, y'all. Keep an app on your phone. Let people know where you're going. Cause sometimes, bruh, the only way I contacted my wife because I got on speed dial. If I had to dial a number, it wouldn't have happened. We are our own competition, so don't get caught up in that BS where people talking about you the competition. Because here's the deal: if you're not doing a good job on your lawn, I'll be cutting it. So just do your best, and that's what it is. That's the competition. As long as you're doing a good job, your customer's not going nowhere.
True.
And Vic, I wanna thank you, brother. Appreciate you.
No doubt.
All these years we've been knowing each other, and I appreciate your help in this lawn care game, man. A lot of this stuff, man, I wouldn't have known unless you pick the phone up, and you always pick the phone up.
Word. Appreciate you.
Appreciate you.
Little backstory, y'all. Kett and I grew up together in North Carolina, Winston-Salem.
Yes, sir.
Shout out to the Trey
folk.
Yeah, so we grew up in Winston-Salem together. When I say grew up, I'm talking about elementary school, high school type of stuff. And we hung out together, played basketball, dance partners. Now he's up in Maryland. I'm down here down south in Georgia. So, but we still connected, and we built another bond, encouraging each other to build businesses. So
absolutely.
One of the things I wanted to shout out to anybody out here trying to put this work in and grind it out for themselves, because at the end of the day, if you're going to sweat hard for yourself. And if you like this video, you're definitely going to like this video. Go ahead and click on it.